Welcome back to Homeopathy at Home with Melissa. Hey, Melissa.
Hey Bree, I'm excited to jump into your point number 4 of our encouragement series. Give us a recap of what we've already talked about.
Okay, so go back and listen if you can, but if you are, or if you just need a refresher, these are just points that I feel like God has shown me about spiritual growth, using principles of homeopathy, really, as I've shared what to expect in the healing process with people in my life. Um, I just feel like it's something God has used to reveal himself to me and truth to me. So, not trying to glorify homeopathy, but it's just been a tool. God has used it to show me a lot. Number one was healing comes from the inside out. Two is stimulating the body to heal takes time. Three was we each have our own unique healing journey and our own growth journey spiritually. Also, I'm not that great of like an alliterator when I make points. So these are not like quick phrase. Number four today is celebrate small victories. So in homeopathy, if you have ever dealt with honestly acute or chronic, each small victory and sign of improvement should be recognized and celebrated. And if we see them, we celebrate them. I mean, you and I very often are talking about cases we're seeing improvement in, or when we use a remedy and it works really well, sharing that, engaging that movement, that healing. Um, and outside of a miracle, which God can do, physical healing takes time. True healing takes time, with the exception of when we know God just moves and heals a person. Um, in the gateway courses, and honestly, probably in any of your courses, you talk about the magic markers. And those are just three things. They're not the rule, but they're three good ways to gauge if a remedy is working. And working meaning you're seeing healing and improvement. And if not, you want to switch remedies. But if it is, these are kind of ways you can gauge that. One is the symptoms appear with less intensity. Two is there's a shorter duration of that event. And three is there's a longer period of time between those events. And those specifically, I can look at spiritual growth and think the same thing. It takes time. And we have our moments where maybe we're talking about anger, and you're very likely not going to just one day not ever be angry again or always handle your anger. I mean, the Bible says you can be angry, but don't sin. So, not reacting in your anger and what you look for. And I try to encourage people with this, just be encouraged that when you have your moments of weakness, you have not gone back to square one. This is not failure. You haven't fallen back, but that this is a part of it, right? There's been maybe a bigger period of time since you had an outburst. Maybe this one you say one thing and you hold your tongue, where before you would have gone on a rant, or you respond in humility and ask for forgiveness. Um, that's just one instance. But I think of that in our spiritual growth and the fruit of the spirit in our lives, and that often looks like that. And in that, it's very important to celebrate and recognize small steps of faith and growth, because that's what encourages us to keep moving forward. I can't think of how many times in a consult, we have a follow up and somebody's really discouraged. Like, I just don't feel that much better. And then we go back over our notes. And I'm like, well, okay, how long has it been since have you had any headaches or whatever, anything like this? And they'll say, I totally forgot about this. I actually haven't had any. And, but they are still experiencing something. And in the same way, I think, looking at that and thinking, oh, yeah, that's right. I had a symptom that totally went away. This is working. I'm going to keep going. And I think it's important to have people in your life like that, observing on the outside, to help you recognize your own growth and to help you move forward. And it's also, I think all of these points have also helped me to have a much more gracious perspective to the people in my life who are growing, and to recognize that the process of healing is just as much to be celebrated um, over perfection, over the ultimate goal. That process itself is part of the growth. The growth is not just the end. So don't focus so much on the destination where you think you're trying to get to that you lose sight of being intentional now. And don't forget where you're wanting to go to keep you moving forward. I think in life, in our spiritual life, it can be so easy to get discouraged in where we've been, what's in front of us. And it made me think of in Joshua 4, God had the Israelites commemorate and create monuments. They named a place, they maybe changed a person's name. They did all sorts of things to commemorate a big event or like a big work of God. And he had them do that to be a memorial, a reminder of where God brought them from, how they got where they are, that they did not get themselves there, but God brought them there. And we still need to look back and not forget and celebrate and forget to celebrate the faithfulness of God to have gotten us where we are and to use it as encouragement to keep moving forward in obedience. So in your life, just like in homeopathy, we say to observe, like take good notes. And in life, in your spiritual life, have your stones of remembrance. Take notes of how God has worked in your life. Journal, put things around your house. People hang things. You can hang verses. You can hang a reminder to you of the time that God showed up for you and cared for you or was faithful to lead you in a way. People get tattoos sometimes. But it's just a good reminder of the faithfulness of God, and then just keep moving forward because he'll be faithful to keep doing that. So that's that. And you've been like smiling this whole time. So I know you have some good stuff you want to say.
I do. And so
Good
those of
too.
you who are watching on YouTube, you saw me looking over. It wasn't that I wasn't paying attention to Bree. I was looking for something because you made me think of it. So I had to find it. When you said that, having people on the outside observing and encouraging you. So we all, that's why we need community. We need to be in community, and we need somebody, at least, a person that will encourage us,
Mhm.
see the growth. And so this is what I remembered. So my person is my oldest son, Chandler. He encourages me. He sees my growth, and he will just freely let me know, when he sees it. And so not that long ago, I said something to him, and he said, "You're hearing from the spirit more and more lately. Every time I've talked to you, I heard the tone of the spirit, and I've genuinely been put to ease." So, I mean, that was so encouraging to me. I was like, I mean, I want to spend time with the Lord, and I want to grow in the spirit, but he was standing on the outside, looking in and observing this, and told me that. And so we need to do that with each other, both spiritually and, in homeopathy and in our health. When you see somebody, because I might feel stagnant, or I might feel like I'm not growing, or I might feel like I'm not moving and nothing's happening. But when somebody comes and encourages me and tells me the truth about what they see, then I
Mhm.
can choose to believe it.
Yep.
So, yeah, I love that you said that, having somebody on the outside to encourage you. We need that.
One of my whole points coming up is going to be on community. And I want to really talk a lot more about that because that is huge. We are not able to do that alone. So I love that. That's really good. I like having people speak into that, and him saying, I was thinking when he said the tone of the spirit, that's also something that is from God. So people speaking into you that is the Lord working in you, and affirming that is also really important. That he didn't say you were really nice or you said something really powerful to me, that he commented that it was the Lord to him.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. I hope my grown boys are doing that for me one day.
I
Like
know.
that says a lot. That's really awesome. Um,
So yes, that was so good. I love the magic markers. And I do want to say that I learned about the magic markers from Joette Calabrese. I don't know if she made them up herself, or I just want to give that credit there. But yeah, this was
Yeah.
so good. Anything else you have on this?
No, I don't think so. Thank you
Mm.
guys so much for listening. We'd love to hear your feedback on things like this. I know this is like out of the norm. So if you enjoy it, let us know. And we'll be back for several more. I think there are
Yeah,
10.
yeah.
Okay.
My hope is that you would be so encouraged, both spiritually, but also in your healing journey with homeopathy, because that's why I want to do these, is that we all need encouragement. You might not have somebody there encouraging you step by step. So maybe you come back to these when you feel down or you feel
Be your
homeopathy's
community.
not working. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right.
Thank
See you
you.
guys next time.